Sup, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Boss Battle Show, where we break down the latest and the greatest in gaming and geek. My name is Adam Ronan, and I beg of you to join me, and let's get weird. So first I want to kick off the show. This is really kind of the first episode of 2018 where we're digging into new stuff. You know, the last episode we broke down our best and worst of 2017. Now we're finally digging into stuff that's happening now in 2018, and I want to start the year off with terrible news. Terrible news. So I just want to get it out of the way because we're kind of bummed about it, and this does cover everything in gaming and geek, and I think this considers to be geek news. But Game of Thrones, the final season, as we predicted, but now it's finally been confirmed that it's going to come back in sometime in 2019. We can probably expect that that's going to drop in, I would say, April, June, July-ish. April, May, June, July-ish, so spring, summertime of 2019. Man, to see that finally confirmed is just like taking out like the dagger made of dragon glass and just stabbing it right into my heart and soul. Man, that's just a long time to wait for what I think is probably the best show on TV. So, you know, sometime in 2019, we're going to get 6 episodes, 6 final episodes, and goddamn, those have better be the 6 greatest episodes of television I've ever seen. And I'm really hoping that because of this long amount of time that we're taking for them to have production, that each one of these episodes is going to be like 2.5 hours each. It really, honestly, it has to be to wrap up this, because I am of the mind and of the opinion, which is the opinion that a lot of people don't want to have, but I think this is the actual true way, that this is the true telling of the Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. I don't think he's going to finish the books. I think he's passed along to here, and I think this is going to be the end all be all of that tale. So they have to wrap it up in a way that is going to be amazing, and it has to be long, fleshed out episodes to really get a nice closure on the trillions and gazillions of characters that they've introduced in the last 7 years or so. So coming back to the traditional showrunners, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, so you know it's going to be true to greatness as it always has been. So yeah, I'm really kind of excited to see what happens there. Game of Thrones, guys, come on. So in the news that you are absolutely probably here to hear about, the reason you clicked this video is just last week, surprise announcements is MadCatz is like, if you like went to the cemetery and you looked for this tombstone of MadCatz and you're like, oh, it was like March 2017, they went away, and you were shedding your tears, you're like, God, I wish I could get a TE2. And then their hands came out of the grave, it was like, look! And then like the MadCatz CEO came out of the ground. What I'm saying is they're back. MadCatz is back. And it was a surprise announcement. I got like just a million tweets from all you guys. You're like, MadCatz is back, holy shit. And it is super cool. Time will tell what's going to happen. So this week, in fact, by the time this episode airs, CES 2018 is happening, and MadCatz will be there showing off some of their new line of gaming peripherals. No mention of fight sticks in their latest press release, and they haven't really talked about it, but it's almost a given because that's kind of where their claim to fame within this community and a lot of communities has been with the MadCatz Tournament Edition and Tournament Edition TE2. I suspect that we will see not only a resurgence of the Tournament Edition, but I'm willing to bet that we get a Tournament Edition 3, because MadCatz is no longer the big dogs on campus. So with Quamba and Razer and Hori and all these other great companies that are making very compatible and excellent fight sticks that kind of cornered the market, MadCatz has essentially been left in the dust since they've closed. So they'll really have to come back strong with a product that really just kind of blows everyone out of the water. And I'm very excited to see what happens with that. And if they do, you can bet your goddamn dollar where you can go to watch the best review of it. It'll be here on Ronin 24. We're actually going to reach out and see if we can't get a hold of a lot of their products that they're going to do, because I would love to get a hands on 2018 MadCatz products and see, you know, what the buzz is going to be, how they're performing, because MadCatz in the past has always been hit or miss, especially when they drop the ball with the Rock Band stuff. It's always been like aftermarket weird controllers. So now I'd like to see, because they're toting, you know, we're coming back with an emphasis on quality over quantity and stuff like that, which I think is great and a good business move, and I'm really excited to see kind of how they dig into gaming and what they do with It'd be cool to see a stick for the Switch. It'd be cool to see new Tournament Edition, other aftermarket controllers. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what MadCatz does, and we will be reviewing all of those products hopefully in 2018. God damn! That's good stuff. So the last thing that I want to talk about before we get into this week's rad shit is we're kind of shifting gears to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Back in March of 2017 when PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, came out, it absolutely took the gaming world by force, just dominated sales in Steam and on PC, and then it finally launched on the Xbox One. And needless to say, the Battle Arena, or Battle Royale game modes are hot, fire, geek, nummies right now. Everybody wants to slice that, including developers. So when that came out, that just boom, captivated audiences. And I will admit, is I've been playing PUBG in the last month or so over our break that we had while we were doing holidays, and Gordy's been playing, and holy shit, that's actually just an immensely fun time. It's like something I've never really had before in gaming. And you know, of course, there's clones. When something is very successful, clones are going to come out. So of course, after PUBG came out, then Fortnite came out with their version of Battle Royale, which is equally as fun, albeit cartoony and things. And now, of course, boom, just this last week, an announcement that Paladins, which was already kind of a clone of Overwatch, with a team-based cartoon, fantasy-driven shooter, is now doing their versions of Battle Royale. It's so I wanted to kind of discuss for a minute the notion that this genre of gaming is becoming so big, and just kind of see what you guys think about it in the comments below. So those of you that maybe are uninitiated, or you haven't played it, or you've been living under a rock, or you're dead or something like that, the Battle Royale game mode is essentially you drop out of the sky onto an island or a play area. It's 100 players-ish, and it whittles down to the last person. Think of it as like the Japanese Battle Royale movie, which this is heavily based off of. In fact, almost directly ripped off of. And then, of course, what you might be more familiar with is Hunger Games. Same type of thing. It's very unique, very adrenaline. The amount of stress that a player goes through in this is just outstanding. We've had some matches that were probably some of the most just outrageous moments in my last 10 years of gaming. You know, me and some buddies playing, screaming and yelling, whittled down to the last few. Me and Gordy's first game, we were the last two alive against another team that were alive. This is in PUBG. And it was probably like the most intense last 5 minutes of a game that I've had in the last decade. It was crazy. It was super cool because there's the finality of it where if you die, you're dead. You're out of the game. You have to start all over in a whole nother game. And if you win, the satisfaction of that is outrageous. So of course everybody wants to capitalize on this. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's no different than when Street Fighter came out and then Mortal Kombat wanted a piece of the pie, and then there was a billion different fighters. Well, now, you know, in 2017, 2018, this is kind of like the new hot thing for gaming, and of course we're going to see tons of different versions of it. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing more and more, because as hot and awesome as PUBG is, it's actually not a very well put together game. It's riddled with glitches because they didn't anticipate Bluehole when they made it. Didn't anticipate how incredible it was going to be with the sales. So now they're trying to play catch up and patching it and making it what it should be. So it'd be really interesting to see who does it the best. I would think it would be really cool if they implemented, and honestly, I'm channeling my nerds to dramas at the moment. It'd be really cool if in a future update here shortly they do a Battle Royale mode in GTA 5 online. I think that would be super cool, and I think that would be probably very well fleshed out with the established engine. I think it's a super cool mode, and I'm actually really excited to see what other games kind of take that and run with it, and what we see in the coming year or so. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, now it is time for rad shit. Because, as you know now, you should be used to this if you've been watching the Boss Show the last few weeks. Rad shit, we show you, showcase something that is just outrageous, be it technology or toys or something cool that we would like to own that you probably would want to own as well. And since Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming just right around the corner, and we're pretty stoked for that fighter, we were kind of really excited about Bandai Tamashii Nations, the SH Figuarts line of toys. They have their own Dragon Ball line, and I'm really into this Shenron figure. It's super cool. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I don't have a lot of history with Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, because when it finally came out, I was in high school. It just didn't resonate with me as a person then, so I'm pretty late to the game when it comes to Dragon Ball. wouldn't mind watching it now just so I have a frame of reference for when I get into the fighting game. But man, you can't deny the quality of SH Figuarts toys. We have a few of them around the office. It is the epitome of quality when it comes to action figures and build quality and things like that, and this is no different. And you can actually order this right now. At the time of filming, you can get this figure for $89.96, which is a pretty decent deal given its size. SH Figuarts toys always go for $50, $60, $70. They have a line of Ninja Turtle toys that I'm super into, but that's another time. But anyway, guys, if you're into Dragon Ball Z, if you're excited for the new fighter that's coming out, this is a must-have. Link below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, geeks, nerds, and boys and girls of all ages, that wraps up this week's episode of the Boss Battle Show. You know where to get me. Hit me on Twitter here. Kapa, kapa, kapa. Let us know in the comments below. So you know, like and subscribe. Boss Battle Show out. Up, down, down, left, right, left.